I'd like you to think about this. No matter how hard you stir a packed car, it's not going to move. A packed car is packed. So stirring and turning on that steering wheel doesn't get it in any direction. But on the contrary, if the car gets moving, it has some momentum. A little nudge on the steering wheel gets the car to start changing direction to the direction that you want it. So I want you to think about this like your life. God will not direct you on the next step or on what you should be doing with your life until you step out there and start doing something first with your life. Many young people say they are waiting for God, they are waiting for a sign from God. They know they were called to do this, they know they are inclined to be engaged in this kind of thing. But instead of engaging at the level they are with the resources they have to the capacity which they can, they are waiting on a special dramatic sign from God to show them the next move. I always tell young people, until you hear a new instruction, you must keep focusing and making the most of the last instruction or the last information that you received. You may have a big vision, you may have a big dream, but until you start doing something little, you have not put yourself in motion on course to realizing that big dream and that big vision. So think about your life right now. What have you been putting off? What have you been postponing because you want things to be, in quotes, clearer, because you want things to be more aligned perfectly, or you want the conditions to be more favorable, or because you want to, like they say, hear God, or that God should direct you? Well, if He hasn't directed you yet, then this is me telling you, stop waiting. Get out there and start doing something. It's when you get on the journey that once you get to a junction, God can say, okay, take left or take right. He's not going to tell you take left or take right when you're still sitting on your butt at home and waiting for Him to do some miracle. When the Bible talks of redeeming the time because the days are evil, it's talking about making the most of our time. So as you wait for a new instruction, you can't afford to wait idle. This is the time where you're refining your skills. This is the time where you're upgrading and increasing your skills and your abilities. This is the time where you're exercising at the local or the small level at which you can now in preparation for the next instruction. Remember when Jesus said, when the master comes back, will he find the servants so doing? Will he find the servants so doing, not so waiting, not so sitting or lazing around, but will he find the servants so doing? So if God comes today, He's that master, is He going to find you so doing on the vision? Or have you given up? Have you had a few losses? Have you had a few difficulties and you felt, well, I'm going to cross my legs and sit and whine until God does something special? No, you can't do that. That is not the attitude of leaders. That is not the attitude of the kind of people that go on to hear God and make big changes in their time. Remember Martin Luther King? He says, if you cannot run, then you have to walk. If you cannot walk, you have to crawl. Whatever you do, you have to see that you keep moving, because as long as you're moving, then you can have access to directions. You can have access to new ideas. You can have exposure to new ways and new things and new opportunities that you would never know, see, or encounter if you sat at your base waiting. So nothing is going to change until you wake up and start moving. No new instruction, no new direction. You have to prove that you really want it and you set out. Then can you start receiving new directions from God on what you should be doing with your life in this time and in this season. I hope this challenges you to wake up and start somewhere, because it doesn't really matter how you start as much as the fact that you actually do start. And then everything will begin to flow and unfold itself as you journey on. I hope this video inspires you. If it did, you click the like button. I'll really appreciate that. And if you're new here, subscribe. I want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, as we are right now on our countdown to 500,000 Kingdom Dominators. I really want to say a big thank you. It's been a journey we couldn't have accomplished without you. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button to join the Kingdom Dominators. And a big shout out to all our patrons for making these videos possible. You too can support us. The link is in the description below. I'm Bodas Djoumessi from Wisdom for Dominion. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.